So have you ever been in a car and you hear a song coming through your speakers and instantly remember all the words? Do memories of another time or place, and this is usually the case, events, flood your brain? That happens to me all the time. If I'm on my way to work or even walking down the street and a song hits my ears and bam, I'm somewhere else. I remember the good times and the bad times. I've even had it happen to me when I'm just walking around not really looking for music at all. That happens a lot in grocery stores. Not really sure why. But that's what this channel is about. My music memories. Things that flood into my head while hearing that song. This song is called One Thing Leads to Another. It came out in 1983 and was made by a band called the Fixx. What I remember most about this song was the cover. It was an Art Deco kind of thing. It was a very stylized person coming out of the water at a beach from an overhead perspective. I remember it was very colorful and for some reason yellow. But as you can see from the cover, there's not actually that much yellow, so my brain may be a little bit off. This song reminds me of the Columbia House Music Club. It was a subscription service that tried to entice you with free stuff, not unlike the drug dealers in the 80s. Remember, the first taste is free. Except somehow, Columbia House made it a business model, and it worked. You would sign up and they would send you 10 or maybe 14 tapes or records, I don't know. But it was a lot of free music. At least as a kid, it was a hell of a package to receive in the mail. Back then, I only used to receive packages in the mail from family overseas. And those packages always seemed to be weird tourist things, like a red double-decker bus from the UK. The idea behind Columbia House was simple. You'd send them a penny, and they would send you 10 or 14 free albums or tapes, depending on when you were subscribing. And then over the next few years, you would have to purchase 3 to 5 more, but at regular price. That was how they, I guess, justified giving you all that free stuff. But we were kids. We never did that. All we ever did was change our name and change the mailing address maybe and keep signing up. And we got so much free stuff, free music, it wasn't even funny. On some level, it was probably criminal. They used to advertise through junk mail. But junk mail in the 80s wasn't the hated concept that it was today. It was a window that was what was coming out in the future. And Columbia House would make these pamphlets with stickers in them. And these stickers would have album covers on them. There was no other information on the records you were choosing for your freebies. I remember squinting till my eyes were almost closed, trying to see the difference between Van Halen's Jump and the Alan Parsons Project's Eye in the Sky. In such small print, everything got a little muddled. I couldn't decide back then, so I got both, and they were terrific. There would be a grid with the amount of freebies that you would stick your stickers onto, and usually one extra box where you could purchase an album at a discount price, and it would actually count towards your commitment later on. I don't know anybody who ever did that, but it was there. And every few months, I would be peeling back those stickers, taking a nice hard look at what I'm getting, and sticking them on there with a big wet lick, because you'd never want your picks to come loose in the mail, because then they would never send you the right ones, and mashing them into the boxes, and you would send them off. It was weird, though. The stickers were always too big for the boxes. So it always feels like you were just really, really, really bad at playing with stickers when you were a kid. And 6 to 8 weeks later, your package would arrive with all your music. Of course, while waiting for my musical treasures to arrive, I would have to come up with some excuse for my mom as where I got all the music. I don't really remember the exact reason I fed my mom over the years, but I do remember one time I used that, hey, these are your birthday gifts. Look at these 10 records I just got for you. I never told her that she was also committed to Columbia House for more money and more records. But that's how she got the Quiet Riot album, Mental Health. And I really like that song, Come On, Feel the Noise. And I think she did too. Although neither one of us seemed to notice the spelling issues with the title. Eventually, Columbia House transitioned into cassettes. That was great for me. It meant a smaller package, and it was easier to hide. Those pamphlets were everywhere, and I would be always rooting through them looking for the big score. But that's what I was doing when I was asked to stop teaching Sunday school at a local Baptist church. Well, okay. Let's a little bit of context here. I remember attending a small, out of the way Baptist church when I was younger. And it was there that I got introduced to a young pastor. Nope, the time has shattered my memory of his name. I tried, but I just can't get there. After a while, he asked if I could teach Sunday school. He saw that I was getting along with the kids, and I'm a good talker. All the adults seemed to hate the kids always fidgeting and making noises during services anyway, so hey, I was the solution. While the pastor was upstairs pasteurizing the masses, I was teaching kids about the Bible in my own way. See, I write like I talk, but usually with a lot less swearing. And I had read the Bible from cover to cover. Actually, in my own mind, I actually understood it all. So I told the kids the stories of Jesus and his buddies. That's actually how I described the apostles. I mean, what kids actually knows what the hell an apostle is anyway? But the only apostle they knew about was Jesus' backstabbing buddy, Judas. Why the hell would Jesus put up with him was a common question. And I would reply that people never really know the whole person, the inside. What we see is what people want us to see. But Jesus is like Superman. He sees souls instead of bad guys. This went on for a while, and I actually felt like I was doing some good in the world. Which, hey, at that time, I never thought it was possible. After some services on Sunday, all the people would get together and we'd have a communal meal. And it was at that point, when I was nice and happy and full, while I was flipping through the latest Columbia House music catalog. While I was mindlessly flipping through the catalog, I failed to notice the shadow over me. It was the pastor peering over my shoulder. He quickly snatched up my musical pamphlet and looked at it. He looked amazed at what he saw. He said, "Do you listen to this rock music?" I looked up and said, "Of course I do. They have really great records in there." He scowled at me and said firmly to get out and not return, as rock music was the devil's handiwork. As he was throwing me out of the basement of the church, I really wanted to tell him that, hey, there's Christian music in here. I mean, hey, Anne Murray doesn't sing things that I like, but isn't she Christian? I don't know. I didn't know then, and I didn't do it. I couldn't believe it, but I wasn't really mad. I mean, screw these people. I was finally doing something good for the betterment of mankind, and this guy banishes me? I walked out without another word, leaving the pamphlet. Maybe I'll get to corrupt some other young kid that stayed in church. But as I left, I could have sworn someone say, "Won't somebody think of the children?" I hope you enjoyed that little story that fell out of my head. If you had the thrill of Columbia House when you were younger, please let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to read a version of this or other stories, you can check out my website at themusicmemories.com. Any musical suggestions are always welcome, and please follow and subscribe.